Florida A&M University held 3 graduation ceremonies for its spring 2023 graduates. More than 1,200 students walked across that stage at Al Lawson Center. Dr. Calvin Mackey delivered the keynote address. On Friday,
thank you, Dr. Robinson and Selection Committee, for having me. It's an honor to be here and provide and bring remarks as the commencement speaker. I'm so grateful, humble, and honored by this privilege. I got 4 degrees. I can give somebody one. I got a BS in mathematics and 3 engineering degrees. I remember when I was 9 years old, my uncle bought me a little car, and I put the kit together, and the car ran across the floor. And my uncle jumped up here, and my dad was in the corner with their libations. And my uncle jumped up and said, that boy gonna be an engineer. I never heard of one, didn't know what it was, couldn't spell it. But my uncle said I was gonna be an engineer. See, we educated now, but what we don't have is the wisdom that our ancestors had. We got degrees and dying at 20, and they didn't even have formally educated, and they lived to be 100. So with all our education, we gotta make sure that we go back and get the wisdom of our grandmothers. My grandmother used to say, boy, you can go anywhere in this world, just keep on that road and keep walking. Never set foot out of the state of Louisiana. She would say, boy, I never forgot more than you'll ever learn. Now that's wisdom. My grandmother gave me 6 lessons, young people. Graduates such that if you hold on to them, they'll transform your life. As a matter of fact, if you take these 6 lessons and you put them into your life, there's not a PhD or degree that you cannot earn in this place called America. My grandmother used to say things like, every closed eye ain't sleep. Every goodbye ain't gone. Everything done in the dark will come to light. Misery loves company. Birds of a feather flock together. And if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. PhD. The only problem is too many of our young women laying down with dogs and getting up with more than fleas. And all our young men want to be dog. What up, dog? What up, dog? What up, dog? Instead of you calling yourself dog and spelling it D-O-G, why don't you reverse it and spell it G-O-D and call yourself God on this earth with a mission and a vision for your family and your community. That's the wisdom we need. Because you're going to realize now that you're educated, you're going to want to do the same thing you was doing at FAM, and that's not going to bring you that what you want in this world. These books are not enough. You got to have grandma's wit to make it in this world. Then my grandma used to say, boy, have some sense. You all got all that education, but you ain't got no sense. Have some sense. We doing just dumb things right now, and we know better because we don't have the sets that she called it in life. She said, son, you need the sets. You have these sets, you'll be all right. I said, grandma, what's the sets? She said, first set you need to have, baby, is skill sets. She said, a man and woman who doesn't have skills ask people how much they pay. The man and woman who does have skills tell people how much they charge. Graduates, go out in the world and tell people how much you charge. The world is waiting on you. The world is changing. I made reference to open AI. You know, we could talk about ChatGPT. We could talk about predictive analytics and data science. We could talk about all of this stuff, and you got to be lifelong learners. You got to continuously learn because the stuff that you know today may be obsolete next year. And the foundation that FAM is giving you is the foundation that you should be able to know that you can go out and teach yourself anything that you need to know. These things called skills are real. You got to know the why. You got to know the how, and you got to know the why. I was a professor at Tulane studying fluid mechanics, and I'll never forget hydrodynamic stability. And the guy called me and he said, I got a pipe in my office and it's making noise. He said, can you come check it out? I said, I'll come check it out. And I went to the man's office. And with these PhDs, I want to tell you that a lot of times we get paid for consulting. You know, we're not going to talk about the university salary, so we have to go out and make some money, make some cheddar cheese cake. This guy called me, and I went to his office, and they had a pipe in the back of the office. And Dr. Robinson, the pipe was thumping, thump, thump, thumping. I put my hand on the pipe. He said, man, you hear that thumping? I said, the pipe is thumping. He said, yeah. I said, I think you got a hydrodynamic stability problem. He said, that's why I called you. I said, well, I can fix it. He said, well, fix it. I went out to my truck, came back in with my tools. I put my hand on the pipe. I hit it with my hammer. Bam! Pipe went smooth. That's engineering 101. Hit it with a hammer first. And if that don't work, you read the directions. He said, thank you, man, you fixed my pipe, you fixed my pipe. I said, bet. He said, bill me. I said, I'm definitely gonna bill you. Went back to my office, I wrote up the invoice. Now, y'all don't know about this, but I faxed him the invoice. Wham! He got the fax, he read the fax. The fax read $200. He picked up the phone, he called me, said, man, you must be out your mind if you think I'm gonna pay you $200 for hitting a pipe with a hammer. I said, oh man, you must be wanting itemized. He said, break it down. I said, well, let it be broken. So I itemized the fax, sent it to him. Wham! He got the fax. Fax read $2 for the hammer, $198 for knowing where to hit it. FAMU have given you the skills of the how, but you better spend every day understanding the why. Because the man and woman that knows how will forever have a job, but the man and woman knows why will forever be their boss. FAMU have trained you to go out and be leaders, to be the boss of other men and women. So be about that business. Now, after you get your skill sets, you got to make sure you got the right assets. Now, here's the thing about assets. Assets is not something you sit on. And assets is not all this money you're thinking about. See, there's two types of wealth in this world. The first type of wealth is making money, and that's the lowest form of wealth. The second form of wealth is making a difference. That's the highest form of wealth. And I want to give a hand to all of these professors, all of these instructors, everybody that work at this university who have sacrificed to make a difference in these lives and in these families. Because that's what it takes. And when you understand that it's your charge to go back in the community and make a difference too. They say if you want to know how you got here today, look at the 5 people you hung out with 5 years ago. And graduates, if you want to know where you're going to end up in 5 years, look at the 5 people you're hanging with right now. You're going to have to cut some people go. Some assets are liabilities. And they could be your frat brothers, fraternity sisters, sorority sisters. Y'all can done some dirt together and did all that, but at some point, you're gonna have to do what? Grow up. They say people change for 1 of 3 reasons. They change when they learn enough, they change when they're given enough, and they change when they hurt enough. We don't want you to hurt. So we need you to continue to learn and to continue to grow so that you won't have to hurt. And when you get your assets right and you get your skill sets right, there's only one thing left to get right, and that's your mindset. And the mindset is the most important thing because somewhere it's written. They say, as a man thinketh, so is he. It is this mind that we got to protect, the 6 inches of circumference that in this attention economy everybody's trying to get to. And a person that can look through the fog and cut through the fog and keep moving, it's the person that's going to have the right mindset to change the world. And don't ever think this is about you. Don't ever think this is about you. We live in a world now that's all about individualism and all about selfishness. Everybody on Instagram, you know, with their hair done, but not their head did. Taking selfies, look at me, and our communities are dying. You have a responsibility not only to yourself, but to the entire communities from which you come. We got to go back into the community, put our hands on young kids, and let them know that there's somebody that cares. And I'm telling you this because I sat in a seat, I was supposed to sit in a seat like you one day, and I made it all about me. There was a guy by the name of Norman Johnson, used to teach at SBI right here at FAM. He came to Georgia Tech, and he was the senior vice president. And when I got my master's degree, they sent me my master's degree in the mail. And when I went to my graduation for my first degree, everybody came, but my daddy didn't. And the only thing I wanted was for my daddy to be there because I wanted validation from him. 3 months later, when I got my second undergraduate degree, nobody came because my family said, boy, you graduating too much. My cousin came, and my other cousin and my girlfriend and my cousin had just got out of jail, and I know he was going to ask me for restitution money at dinner. And sure enough, he went to dinner. He's like, hey, man, can I get some of that out you? So when I got my master's degree, I was so mad. I'm like, nobody ain't coming. I'm not going to the graduation. And I didn't go to that graduation. And I was walking down North Avenue in Atlanta, and I saw Dr. Norman Johnson walking down the street. I said, what up, Doc? He said, blankety, 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 you come over here. And I came across that street with my backpack. What up, Doc? He said, where were you Saturday? I said, what you mean, man? I was in the lab studying. What you mean you was in the lab? You wasn't at graduation. I said, oh, man, they can send me the degree. I said, I'm still working on my doctorate. I got stuff to do. He said, you're blankety, blankety, blankety. Don't you ever think this was about you. There was a little boy, a little girl in that audience that needed to see somebody like you go across that stage and get that hood put on them so they can know what's possible. You're blankety, blankety, blankety. So when Dr. Robinson called, I had to change my schedule. Flew in here late last night because I knew it was very important for me to stand here and redeem myself such that hopefully a little boy and a little girl in the stands today can see me, see these people, and see you go across this stage and know what's possible. FAMU, that's your challenge, that's your charge. Go take on the world. Congratulations to you all.
Mackey is an award-winning inventor, author, former engineering professor, internationally renowned speaker, and entrepreneur.
Whether you are the first in your family to attend college or a third-generation rattler, the child of immigrants, a single parent, a student athlete, or a working scholar. If you are graduating summa cum laude or just thank you laude, today is a tremendous achievement for you and all those who will follow in your footsteps. I commend you for making it this far. You should be very proud of yourselves. I was the first college graduate in my family, which paved the way for all the other now college graduates who followed me. What you will achieve today will pave the way for someone else. I know for many of you, the road that brought you here was not easy. There may be people who started this journey with you who will not finish it with you. There may have been moments when you thought, I don't have what it takes to finish. But I knew you could. Your parents, your professors, and your loved ones all knew you could. No matter what challenges came your way, you are graduating because you believed in yourself. You had faith. Faith in yourselves, faith in your future, and a faith that your family, your FAMU family, had your back. You have come this far by faith. Soon you will join the ranks of the prestigious graduates of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University of FAMU. For 136 years, FAMU has produced leaders in every field and every industry: politicians and producers, scientists and artists, scholars and executives. People like Congressman Alcee Hastings, my good friend for whom this very building is named, Al Lawson. Thank you for being here today, Mr. Lawson. Carrie and Kendrick Meek, Althea Gibson, Dr. Mona Humphreys Bailey. My own staff, Alan Williams is with us today, who is a diehard rattler. Anika Noni Rose, Roy Wood, who was so outstanding at the correspondence dinner last night. I can't say enough about him. And my nephew is here with me today, Cornelius Jones and Richie Jones. Thank you for being here as well. Generations of alumni who embody excellence with caring and shape our culture, from the clothes we wear, to the news we watch, to the technology that gets many of us through a workday. Class of 2023, you are the next generation of leaders who will demand that this country lives up to its promise, to its ideals. You, class of 2023, are the ones we have been waiting for. Your generation will ensure we leave this world better than we found it. For the past 4 years or so, you have received all the training and preparation you need to make a difference, to do great things. You have traversed the hill to attend classes in Jones Hall and Tucker Hall. You cut up at Set Fridays after a long week of laughs. I know you did, because I saw the videos. Y'all might need to clean them up too. You cheered on the Rattlers and the Marching 100 at homecoming. You've given back to your community. You have represented FAMU and the entire HBCU community at prestigious internships and fellowships. Now you are about to begin the next chapter of your journey. Very soon, you will say goodbye to a place that has been your home at a very pivotal moment in your life. A campus, a safe place that shielded you from the cruelty and brutality of the world around us. I know the road may look bright to the dreamers among us, but for the realist, it may look bleak. Every day, we are confronted with another tragic reminder of how dark things have gotten. Perhaps I have always seen the cup half full. I have seen so much. I have lived through difficult times before. But even lately, I am worried about the future of our nation. This year alone, we have seen lawmakers barely older than many of you expelled for standing up for what is right. We have seen rights we have all been taught were inalienable treated like they're disposable. Our safety has been threatened at every turn. All the while, those who have been charged with the important task of leading. So hold on to the lessons you have learned on these hallowed grounds. Carry the legacies of those who sat where you are sitting right now. Carry them with you as you step out into the world. And always remember that one person can make a difference. You can make change. So as you set forth on your next chapter, I want to just give you a few things to keep in mind. Number one, it costs nothing to be kind. In a world full of cruelty and unkindness, be kind. Because what I learned is that people help people they like. Not always the smartest, not always the most attractive, not always the best dressed, but the people they like. So be likable. Every day will not be your best day. Every day you will not wake up going at 100 miles an hour. But every day you must give the best you have that day. Whether it's 45 miles an hour, give the best you have that day. I'm going to ask you to be patient with yourselves. God willing, you will live a long life. This means that you have plenty of time to get everything right. Your life does not need to be perfect right now. So give yourself some grace.
While in Congress, Fudge seen firsthand the need for economic development and affordable housing. She's earned a reputation of tackling unique housing challenges across the U.S. The final graduation took place at 2 p.m. Their keynote speaker, Harry Williams, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund CEO and president. He summed up the importance of perseverance and grit. TMCF has been at the forefront, leading on almost every significant national legislative victory for HBCUs.
My grandmother said to me, Harry, you're going to be successful, but these are the things I need for you to do every single day to keep focus in your life. And my grandmother had a second grade education. I'm from North Carolina, in the eastern part of North Carolina, growing up in the tobacco fields. And recognizing and seeing the hard work that my parents, my grandfather and my mother and my father went through, they said there's one way out of this, and it's called education. And education will open up the world to places you've never been and create opportunities for you. But in that journey, you need people to provide you with some foundational pathways to get you moving forward. And my grandmother said, key number one in life, you hold on to your faith. Don't let anything rock you when it comes to your faith. Your faith will sustain you through these difficult times. It will get you through these rough times. It got you through your exams because you're here today to prove it. Your faith. Don't let anything move you off your faith. Then my grandmother said, key number two, your family. Never let anything come between you and your family. Never get too big. Never get too big in your life's journey that you can't call home to mom, that you can't call home to dad. Because during this path of success, you're not going to have everybody on your team rooting for you. But you will have mom always rooting for you. You will have dad always rooting for you. So never get too big that you cannot connect, because there are going to be moments that you're going to just need to hear your mother's voice. And that's all you need. That's all you will need. And it will move you forward. So always stay connected with your family. Key number 3. My grandmother said, when you leave out here, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing the family. You're representing everybody. And the family represents excellence. So when you're passion, she's have passion and drive. And I promise you, your passion will lift you up and move you forward. This great organization where I'm leading is the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, named after one of the greatest Supreme Court justices that ever lived, to ever walk on this planet. Justice Marshall, who got up every single day focusing on how he was going to create opportunities for all of us and doing it through the legal process. When our founder, Dr. N. Joyce Payne, 37 years ago, came up with the idea to create the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, the first person she talked to in that process was former President Humphreys here at Florida A&M. And President Humphreys, for those of you who know him, said, "Move forward and I will be behind you." And so FAMU is part of the history of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And when our founder met with Justice Marshall 37 years ago and asked Justice Marshall if he would lend his name to this organization, and Justice Marshall said, "Why should I lend my name to this organization?" She reminded him that you represent everything that we stand for, excellence and quality, and a proud HBCU graduate of Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. And then he went on to Howard University and graduated Howard Law. And the rest is history, arguing before the Supreme Court 32 times and winning 29 cases for African Americans in this country, representing excellence and quality and having the passion and drive. So push and push hard and be passionate about it. Be passionate about what you want to do. And then key number 4, my grandmother said, growing up in a small community, she said, dream big. I mean, really big. You know, you heard Zachary when Zachary was referencing some of the founders, some of the leaders that come through FAMU. I can guarantee you they were dreaming big. So dream really, really big. And when you dream big, that's going to force you. That's going to force you to work even harder. So set those goals extremely high. And when you set those goals high, write them down. Write them down on an index card and keep them with you. And when you look at them every day. And let me tell you something else. Don't tell everybody about your big dreams. Don't tell everybody about your big dreams. As I said, you got people rooting for you. You don't have everybody rooting for you. Sometimes people can hear your dreams and first thing they're going to do is be dream killers. So don't keep it to yourself. And you know internally what you need to do to push forward. And look at those dreams every day. Look at them. If you're going to be a CEO of a major corporation, look at them. If you're going to be a successful attorney, look at them. Set them out there. And I guarantee you, you will achieve your goals. Key number 5. Throughout this journey, people are going to be celebrating you. And they're going to be lifting you up. And they're going to be saying great things about you. My grandmother said, but always be humble. Always be humble. Never get too big that you can't walk over here and say hello to someone. Never get too big when you can't smile at someone. Because I guarantee you, they're going to know you. People know you when you weren't there. And when you get there, be the same. Stay humble. Stay humble along that journey. And key number 6, my grandmother said, be prepared for opportunities that will come your way. And sometimes people see things in you you don't see in yourself. And so when someone tells you, I want you, Zachary, to move over here to Itta Bena, Mississippi, Zachary, Zachary don't need to be saying, oh, I don't want to go there. First thing Zachary should say, yes. When do I need to pack my bag to move to Itabena and find a place to live? And when you say yes, your blessings sometimes will explode. And sometimes when you don't say yes, you're missing blessings that you will never know. So be prepared in this life's journey to create opportunities to say yes for those opportunities.
Well, that sure was a year's worth of motivation and tips to succeed.
Thank you so much for watching FAMU Shorts. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. For Florida A&M University, I'm Giovanni Hampton.